I know you stumbled onto this video because you are one of those people who has probably experienced losing friendships and other close personal relationships because you changed. You decided to do better for yourself, and then you started to go after your dreams. And instead of getting a support, you actually discovered that none of these people ever intended to support you. Welcome to day 6 of my 365 video challenge. This is take 19. I don't know what's going on, but my devices are not allowing me to continue a certain topic. I start talking, right? And suddenly my audio doesn't work. My microphone drops. My phone drops. My recording ends. And then if I do manage to record something, I start coughing uncontrollably. So I don't know, maybe that is just my intuition telling me, girl, this is not the time to talk about this. I want you to focus on the other one that you planned. Trust me. Stuff like that. So since I have a long history of ignoring my intuition, I am going to deviate from that pattern and start doing what I've always been doing the last few years that has brought me much peace, fulfillment, and success, and that is to listen to my intuition. So today we will be tackling the work that the 1% does. I'm not talking about the hustle culture. We will explore the angle of self-development and healing. All these hijinks that I just encountered makes me think that, is it really my intuition nudging me not to talk about it, or is it my ego sabotaging my every move to make me think that I've reached my cap in the things that I can talk about? But I will not let my ego succeed, because I'm trying to step into a new version of myself, and I will not let me, a less optimistic version of me, and an egotistic version of me get in the way of that. So I'm doing the healing work of the 1%. The follow-up question would be, how will the 99% understand you if you're already belonging in such a small fraction of the population that's doing what nobody else seems to be willing to do? And when I first started healing and I've become really comfortable in it, like I've started to feel good, and then people started asking me, why are you glowing so much? Why are you so light and happy? And then I tell them that, I've started a self-love journey or self-discovery. And then they ask, what's that? And then I explain it. And suddenly, like, they either lose interest, or they don't take it seriously, or they deflect with humor, or simply just don't understand what I'm saying, as if I'm speaking an alien language. That experience has frustrated me to no end. Mainly because the people that I usually talk to about it are the people that I'm excited about to share it with. Because you met me when I was wounded, and now I'm pretty happy and healed. I thought that they would be happy for me too, but it turns out they only liked that wounded version of me, and they didn't like that I was starting to shed layers of myself that wrapped me for years out of self-protection, but also in a harmful and unhealthy way. A part of me also gets why they react like that. That it's not interesting to them because their priorities and their values and beliefs are different from mine. Truth is, a majority of the people are living in survival mode, not just literally, but also mentally and physically. Like, their body's memory is built to only remember surviving. They don't even understand that they're not living. So maybe that is also the disconnect. It's like that saying, and I don't mean this in a condescending way. I just remembered it. You can't talk butterfly language to a caterpillar. So one of the many struggles that I had in recent years is having to let go of my caterpillar friends, not because they don't want to heal, but because seeing how they react into me becoming a butterfly has shown me that the true reason for their connection of me, because they thought that it would make themselves feel better if I was just not embracing my full potential, if I was not heavily into self-development or healing. They only liked me when I was hurting. They only liked me when we had shared tragedy. They also only liked me when I had such a low opinion of myself, because then they thought that if I had a low opinion of myself, I was inferior to them. But then when I started to fully see my expansiveness, it didn't sit well with them. But now I do understand that the reason for them lashing out in that way is not because of me, and it's not also directed at me. It's more so they were using me as a punching bag in exchange for the person that they actually wanted to attack for not doing the change, or the growth that they should have been facing. But rather, they prioritized comfort and attachments, even if they were unhealthy for them. They prioritized distractions instead of spending a lot of time dedicating it to build who they want to be, a future that they want to have. And so by seeing somebody else embody that, and they make it look so easy, they kind of take offense in that. They feel attacked for the choices that they have made, even when it was never implied in the first place. See, my mentality has always been, even when I was at my lowest, is that when I succeed, I want to bring everybody with me. Everybody who's ever been kind to me, everybody who ever believed in me, they will get a taste and they will be rewarded for that kindness once I get to the top. However, as I was already close there, when they saw that I was doing so well and that I was like understanding, I gave off this feeling of like I'm so loving, so calm, so at peace. Our relationship started to strain. I didn't even do anything to make them feel inferior or insecure. I was always like rooting for them to do the best that they can on their own time. I just didn't anticipate that the foundation of my connections with these people was not rooted in genuine and mutual love. It was just they were connected to me because they saw how much I was willing to bend over backwards to be friends with them during the time that I had low self-esteem or when I was sad and insecure. But when they saw me growing into confidence, the friendship broke down. And that is kind of a devastating loss. So I wandered all by myself in the wilderness of healing. I didn't even have therapy. I didn't even have self-help books to help me. I was literally just sitting down by myself, tracing down all the root as to why my friendships have always been this way, with people who not only wouldn't fight for their friendship with me, rather would immediately throw it away and make me feel like I'm not valued the minute that they see that I am actually thriving mentally and internally. Especially like when they see that I'm actually doing well. Like, so what was that you said before that you wanted to see me succeed? Was that all fake? Did you just say that because you really were just being nice? And you said that because you never actually believed that I would get there. So messed up, right? So anyway, it hurt for a little bit. Like, my ego was a little bit damaged for a bit, because it's kind of humbling to realize that the friendships that you had in your life, or the connections that you've had most of your life, You always deemed those friendships to last for a lifetime, and they didn't, because, like I said, the foundation was shaky. It was built when I was operating with wounds, insecurities, and I don't know, maybe it was so silly of me to think that that's who I was gonna be forever. I never anticipated that I would get a breakthrough and actually unlock a version of me that is not only optimistic but also very proactive in the realm of personal growth, and continuously getting on my journey to uncover versions of myself that would not only serve me well but also those around me. Right now, as you listen to this, who is the first person that you think of that does the same thing as you and I do? I know you stumbled onto this video because you are one of those people who has probably experienced losing friendships and other close personal relationships because you changed. You decided to do better for yourself, and then you started to go after your dreams. And instead of getting a support, you actually discovered that none of these people ever intended to support you. They took your own successes and victories personally and interpreted them as an attack on their own choices. This endeavor is definitely not for the weak. This is not for those who just want to dabble. This is not just for those who are interested. This is some serious work. Because if you start to embark on the course of healing your wounds and becoming a better version of yourself, there is a cost. Not just like the cost of an old version of you, but the cost of friendships, habits, your old lifestyle that protected you and made you feel comfortable for the time being. You have to part with so many things to build something new for yourself, so that next level of you can step into that reality so comfortably. Although I did mention in the beginning that yes, I did not go to therapy to learn all these things. It's not that I'm flexing. It's just that at this time, I'm much more comfortable doing it on my own. And I'm sure that if I went to therapy, I would unlock a different version of myself that's much more robust in healing. But at this time, radical autodidactic healing works for me. I don't want to force myself to do something just because the rest of the world pushes me to. I will get there. But at this time, I'm doing what works for me. And I didn't read self-help books as a choice because I have so much going on inside my head. Like, so much wisdom that I need to unload before I can open a book and learn new things. Like, at this point in time, my head is filled and doesn't have any space for new knowledge. I have to pour it out first, make space, and then welcome new knowledge so that I can level up in my emotional intelligence. To be honest with you, I am kind of scared with the direction that this video has taken. I don't know if I've stayed on course, but it's something that I felt called to talk about. I was actually anticipating just like a 5-minute video, but I didn't think that it would last this long. I guess I'll just end this by saying that when we heal, it does help us let go of old wounds that no longer serve a purpose in our lives. Old wounds that think they're just protecting us from future hurt, but ultimately that overprotection becomes harmful in our growth. However, the relief that we get from healing those things and letting go of all those things, another grief comes in, and that is the grief of potentially being misunderstood by the people closest to us. When that happens, I urge you not to take it personally. I urge you to look at the situation with more compassion. I urge you to think of it this way. You reach the destination earlier than everyone else. They will get to the point where you are, but at this time, Let them enjoy their journey. Do not interfere. Do not try to look down on them for not being there fast enough. Just continue doing what you can. Focus on your own path. Help those who ask you for help. Don't offer it when unsolicited. I urge you to spend majority of your energy building a life that feels good for you and not just what looks good on the outside. And I hope you took away something valuable from this video. Have a good night and see you on day 7.